The stars looked peaceful from Earth's largest space station. Admiral Park Suman stood by the huge window watching ships come and go. She had gray hair and tired eyes from years of protecting humanity. Today felt different. Today, everything would change. A young officer ran into the command room. His face was white with fear. "Admiral Park, we have a message. It's from the Galactic Confederation." Park Suman turned around slowly. She had been waiting for this day for 3 years. Ever since humans had started exploring beyond their solar system, she knew the aliens would notice them. The Confederation ruled 12 different alien races across thousands of star systems. They did not like new species joining the galaxy without permission. "Put it on the main screen," she said. The screen lit up with the face of an alien. It had blue skin, 4 eyes, and a mouth full of sharp teeth. This was High Commander Veltar of the Vextari race. He was the leader of the Confederation's military forces. "Humans of Earth," the alien said in perfect English. "I am High Commander Veltar. Your species has been watched. You have built ships that travel faster than light. You have weapons that concern us. You have spread to other planets without our permission." Admiral Park felt her hands turn into fists. She had seen this coming for months. Reports from human scouts told her that alien ships were watching Earth's colonies. Now they were making their move. "The Galactic Confederation gives you one choice," Veltar continued. "Stop all space travel beyond your solar system. Destroy your military ships. Accept our observers on your worlds. Do this, and we will let you live in peace. Refuse, and we will destroy every human ship and colony in space." The alien's 4 eyes stared directly at the camera. "You have 30 days to send your diplomats to negotiate your surrender. We will meet at Nexus Prime, our main space station. Come ready to accept our terms. There will be no other options." The message ended. The command room was silent. Everyone looked at Admiral Park. She was the highest-ranking military officer on Earth. The decision would be hers to make, along with the Earth Council. "Ma'am," said Captain Lee Dong-yun, her best ship commander. "What are your orders?" Park looked at him. Lee Dong-yun was young but smart. He had short black hair and serious dark eyes. He commanded the newest and most secret ship in Earth's fleet. Only a few people knew what that ship could really do. "Call an emergency meeting," Park said. "Get me the Earth Council, all fleet commanders, and the heads of our science divisions. We have a decision to make." 3 hours later, the most important people on Earth sat around a large table. President Kim Min-jae, a woman with kind eyes but a strong voice, spoke first. "The aliens think we will just give up," she said. "They think humans are weak because we are new to space travel. They are wrong." General Yoon Mik-young, head of Earth's army, nodded. "Our scouts report that the Confederation has over 50,000 military ships. Their technology is old but proven. They have ruled the galaxy for 1,000 years. Numbers don't tell the whole story," said Dr. Han Seokjin, the chief scientist. He was a thin man with glasses who rarely spoke at these meetings. "We have been working on something special, something the aliens have never seen before." All eyes turned to him. Dr. Han had been working on secret projects for 5 years. Most people thought he was building better engines for spaceships. They were wrong. "Project Eternal," he said quietly. "We have built a ship that can do things the aliens think are impossible. It can phase through solid matter. It can bend space and time. Its weapons can destroy entire fleets." Admiral Park leaned forward. "How many of these ships do we have?" 57, Dr. Han replied. "Each one is crewed by our best people. Each one can fight 1,000 enemy ships and win." Captain Lee Dong-hyun spoke up. "The first ship is ready now, the Eternal Wrath. I have been training with my crew for 2 years. We know every system, every weapon, every trick that ship can do." President Kim looked around the table. "So what do we do? Send Captain Lee and his ship to fight 50,000 alien vessels?" "No," said Admiral Park with a small smile. "We send Captain Lee to show the aliens what happens when they threaten humanity. We send one ship to deliver our answer." Captain Lee felt his heart beat faster. "What kind of answer, Admiral?" "The kind that ends conversations permanently," she replied. The meeting continued for 6 more hours. They planned every detail. The aliens expected human diplomats to arrive at Nexus Prime in 30 days. Instead, they would get the Eternal Wrath and its crew of 50 humans. As the meeting ended, Captain Lee walked to the window. He could see a ship in the distance. It looked small and ordinary from the outside. The aliens would think it was just another human exploration vessel. They would learn the truth too late. "Captain," Admiral Park said, walking up beside him, "are you ready for this?" "Yes, ma'am," he replied. "My crew is the best humanity has to offer. Lieutenant Choi Yuna handles our weapon systems better than anyone. Dr. Han Seok-jin himself will be our science officer. Sergeant Kang Min-ho leads our Marines. We are ready." "Good," she said, "because once you arrive at Nexus Prime, there will be no going back. The aliens will either respect humanity, or they will try to destroy us. Either way, the galaxy will never be the same." Captain Lee nodded. He thought about his crew, sleeping, in their quarters, preparing for the most important mission in human history. In 3 days, they would leave Earth. In 30 days, they would arrive at the alien space station. The Galactic Confederation thought humans would send diplomats to negotiate their surrender. They thought wrong. Humanity was sending something much more dangerous. They were sending a message written in fire and lightning, delivered by the deadliest ship ever built. The stars still looked peaceful from the space station window. But Captain Lee knew that peace was about to end. The galaxy was about to learn what happened when you threatened the human race. War was coming, and humanity would not be the ones to lose it. The Eternal Wrath moved through space like a ghost. From the outside, it looked like any other human ship. It was gray and simple, with no special markings. Alien scouts watching it sent reports back to their commanders. The reports all said the same thing. Humans were sending a small, weak ship to surrender. Captain Lee Dong-yun sat in his command chair, reading these alien reports on his screen. His crew had hacked into Confederation communication networks 3 days ago. The aliens were not being careful with their messages. They thought humans were too primitive to break their codes. "Captain," said Lieutenant Choi Yuna from her station, "the aliens are laughing at us. They think we are fools for sending just one ship." Choi Yuna was 28 years old with long black hair and sharp eyes. She controlled the ship's weapon systems. She knew every button and switch by heart. She also knew that the weapons she controlled could destroy planets. "Let them laugh," Captain Lee replied. "It will make our job easier." Dr. Han Seok-jin looked up from his science station. He was the same man who had designed this ship. Now he was here to see his creation used in battle for the first time. "Captain, we are approaching the outer edge of Confederation space. Their sensor networks are very advanced. Should I activate our stealth systems?" "Not yet," Lee said. "We want them to see us coming. We want them to think we are harmless." On the alien space station called Nexus Prime, General Morthak was meeting with his commanders. Morthak was a hegemony alien, tall and green with 6 arms. He had fought in 40 battles and never lost. Today he was preparing to accept humanity's surrender. "The human ship will arrive in 7 days," he told his officers. "It carries only 50 humans. Our scans show basic weapons and simple shields. They are bringing their best negotiators to give up their freedom." A younger alien officer raised one of his 4 hands. "General, should we prepare our fleets anyway? Humans have surprised other species before." General Morthak made a sound that was like laughter. "Commander Zekhai, humans have been in space for less than 100 years. We have ruled the galaxy for 10,000 years. What could they possibly do that would surprise us?" Back on the Eternal Wrath, Sergeant Kang Min-ho was training his Marines in the ship's small combat bay. Kang was short but strong, with scars on his hands from years of fighting. He only had 12 Marines under his command, but each one was worth 100 normal soldiers. "Remember," he told his team, "once we reach the alien station, we might need to board enemy ships. Our suits can survive in space, underwater, or in poisonous air. Our weapons can cut through any alien armor. Stay close to each other and follow orders." The Marines nodded. They had trained for 2 years for this mission. Each one knew they might not return to Earth alive. Each one was ready to die for humanity. In the ship's engine room, Chief Engineer Kim Jae-won watched the power levels on his screens. Kim was 40 years old with gray starting to show in his black hair. He had built engines for 20 years, but this ship was different from anything he had ever seen. The Eternal Wrath did not use normal engines. It used something called a quantum drive that could bend space itself. The ship could phase in and out of normal reality. It could appear solid one moment and become like a ghost the next. Kim was the only person who truly understood how it worked. "Engineering to bridge," he said into his communication device. "All systems are running perfectly. The quantum drive is ready for combat operations." "Thank you, Kim," Captain Lee replied. "How long until we can use full power?" "Anytime you give the order, Captain. But remember, once we start using quantum phases, every alien in the galaxy will know we have new technology." Captain Lee nodded, even though Kim could not see him. "Understood. Keep everything ready." As the days passed, more alien ships gathered around Nexus Prime. The space station was huge, bigger than most moons. It could hold 10 million aliens and had weapons that could destroy entire fleets. Around it, thousands of Confederation warships waited in perfect formations. Admiral Veltar, the blue-skinned alien who had delivered the ultimatum to Earth, stood in the station's main command center. Through the massive windows he could see his fleet. Every ship was ready for battle just in case the humans tried something stupid. "Sir," said one of his officers, "the human ship will arrive tomorrow. Should we prepare the surrender ceremony?" "Yes," Veltar replied. "Make it grand. Let every species in the galaxy see what happens when someone challenges the Confederation. The humans will kneel before us, and their example will keep other young races in line." On the Eternal Wrath, Communications Officer Song Hyeran was preparing humanity's message to the galaxy. Song was young with bright eyes and a strong voice. She would be the one to speak for all humans when the time came. "Captain," she said, "I have the message ready. Should I practice it again?" "No," Captain Lee replied. "You know it perfectly. When we arrive tomorrow, the whole galaxy will hear humanity's real answer to the Confederation's demands." Navigator Oh Ji-won looked up from her control station. She was small and quiet, but she could fly the ship through asteroid fields and enemy fire better than anyone. "Captain, we are 12 hours from Nexus Prime. Should I slow down to normal approach speed?" "No," Lee said. "Keep us at full speed until the last moment. I want to arrive exactly when we said we would. The aliens are expecting diplomats. Let's not disappoint them." As the Eternal Wrath got closer to Nexus Prime, alien sensors studied every inch of the ship. They found exactly what they expected to find: a simple human vessel with basic technology. The aliens had no idea that the ship's hull was made from materials that did not exist in normal space. They could not detect the weapons that existed in folded dimensions. Captain Lee stood up from his command chair and looked at his crew. These 50 humans were about to change the course of galactic history. In 12 hours, the Confederation would learn that humanity did not negotiate with bullies. "All hands," he announced over the ship's communication system. "This is the captain. Tomorrow we arrive at Nexus Prime. The aliens think we are coming to surrender. Instead, we will show them what humans do to those who threaten our families and our freedom." He paused and looked out at the stars ahead of them. Somewhere in that darkness was the largest military force in the galaxy, waiting for humanity to kneel. "We are not going there to talk," Captain Lee continued. "We are going there to teach the galaxy a lesson it will never forget. Prepare for battle stations. Tomorrow, we make history." The crew worked through the night, checking every system one last time. Tomorrow would bring either humanity's greatest victory or their final defeat. But as Captain Lee watched his people work, he knew they were ready. The aliens were about to learn why you should never threaten the human race. The Eternal Wrath appeared at the edge of Nexus Prime's sensor range exactly when Captain Lee said it would. Thousands of alien ships surrounded the massive space station, their weapons pointed outward like the spines of a metal sea creature. The human ship looked tiny compared to the Confederation fleet. Admiral Veltar stood in the station's command center, watching the human vessel approach. His 4 eyes studied the readings on his screens. The ship was exactly what his scouts, had reported small, simple, and harmless. Open a channel to the human ship, he ordered. Let us hear what these primitives have to say. On the Eternal Wrath, Captain Lee Dong-hyun sat calmly in his command chair. His crew was at battle stations, but their weapons were still hidden in folded space. To alien sensors, they looked like a peaceful exploration vessel. Captain, said Communications Officer Song Hyerin, the aliens are requesting to speak with us. Put them through, Lee replied. It's time to deliver our message. Admiral Veltar's blue face appeared on the main screen. His sharp teeth showed in what might have been a smile. Human vessel, I am Admiral Veltar of the Galactic Confederation. You have come to accept our terms for your species' survival. Prepare to dock with Nexus Prime for the surrender ceremony. Captain Lee stood up slowly. Behind him, his crew watched, without making a sound. Dr. Han Seok-jin's hands moved over his science controls, preparing systems that existed in dimensions the aliens had never imagined. Admiral Veltar, Captain Lee said in a calm voice, I am Captain Lee Dong-hyun of the Earthship Eternal Wrath. We have received your ultimatum. We have considered your demands carefully. The alien admiral leaned forward, expecting to hear humanity's acceptance of defeat. Humanity rejects your terms, Captain Lee continued. We will not stop exploring space. We will not destroy our ships. We will not accept your observers on our worlds. He paused and looked directly into the camera. This is our counteroffer. Admiral Veltar's 4 eyes went wide. Around the command center, alien officers began shouting orders. Warning lights flashed as weapon systems came online throughout the Confederation fleet. You refuse? Veltar snarled. Then you have chosen death for your entire species. All ships destroy the human vessel. But Captain Lee was not finished speaking. Let this message go out to every world in the galaxy, he said. Humanity does not negotiate with those who threaten our existence. We eliminate them. He turned to his crew. Song Hyerin, transmit our message on all frequencies. Dr. Han, activate quantum phase systems. Lieutenant Choi, prepare all weapons. Sir, yes, sir, they replied together. Thousands of alien ships began moving toward the Eternal Wrath. Energy. Weapons charged up with deadly light. Missile bays opened like hungry mouths. The combined firepower of the Confederation fleet could destroy entire solar systems. Then something impossible happened. The Eternal Wrath simply vanished. It did not move away or hide behind anything. One moment it was there, solid and real. Next moment it was gone, as if it had never existed at all. Where did it go? Admiral Veltar shouted. Find that ship. His sensor officers worked frantically at their controls. Sir, it's not on any of our scanners. It's like it disappeared from reality itself. Deep in folded space, the Eternal Wrath moved like a shark through dark water. Dr. Han Seok-jin watched his quantum readings with excitement. The ship was phased completely out of normal space-time. To the aliens, it no longer existed. But it could still see them. And more importantly, it could still hurt them. Phase shift complete, Dr. Han reported. We are operating in Quantum Dimension 7. The enemy cannot detect or target us. Excellent, Captain Lee said. Lieutenant Choi, show them what human weapons can do. Lieutenant Choi Yuna's hands danced over her weapon controls. The Eternal Wrath carried no normal guns or missiles. Instead, it had devices that could tear holes in space itself, weapons that attacked from dimensions that aliens did not know existed. Quantum Cascade torpedoes ready, she reported. Target, Nexus Prime main structure. Fire, Captain Lee ordered. What happened next defied everything the aliens thought they knew about physics. The space around Nexus Prime began to twist and bend. Reality itself started to crack like broken glass. The massive space station, which had stood for 1,000 years, began to tear apart at the atomic level. What is happening? Admiral Veltar screamed as his command center shook apart around him. What kind of weapons are these? The answer came from empty space as the Eternal Wrath phased back into normal reality, appearing directly above the dying space station. Captain Lee's voice echoed across every communication channel in the system. These are human weapons, he said. This is what happens when you threaten Earth. The quantum cascade spread outward from Nexus Prime like ripples in a pond. Alien ships caught in the effect simply ceased to exist. They did not explode or burn. They were unmade, reduced to their basic particles and scattered across space. Admiral, Veltar had time for one last message before his station died around him. All Confederation forces retreat. Warn the Council. The humans have weapons that... His words were cut off as Nexus Prime completed its collapse into quantum foam. The greatest military station in the galaxy became a cloud of glowing dust in less than 30 seconds, but the eternal wrath was not finished. "Captain," said weapons specialist Ryu Taehyung from his station, "enemy fleet is trying to escape. Should we let them go?" Ryu was a quiet man who spoke little but understood destruction better than anyone alive. His weapons could reach across solar systems to find their targets. "No," Captain Lee replied. "We came here to deliver a message. Let's make sure everyone receives it." The human ship moved through the fleeing alien fleet like death itself. It would phase out of reality, appear behind enemy vessels and unleash weapons that turned matter into energy. Alien captains tried to surrender, but there was no one to surrender to. The eternal wrath had become a ghost of vengeance. Navigator. Ojiwan guided the ship through impossible maneuvers, appearing in multiple places at once, striking from directions that did not exist in normal space. "Captain, we have eliminated 60% of the enemy fleet. The survivors are scattering in all directions." "Let them go," Captain Lee said. "Let them tell the galaxy what they saw here today." In less than 1 hour, the greatest military force in galactic history had been reduced to a few hundred terrified ships fleeing into the darkness. Nexus Prime, which had ruled over trillions of beings, was nothing but cooling atoms drifting in space. Communications Officer Song Hyeran opened channels to every world in the galaxy. Her voice carried humanity's message to billions of alien ears. "People of the galaxy," she said. "Today the Galactic Confederation threatened to destroy humanity unless we accepted their rule. This was their mistake. Earth does not accept ultimatums. Earth does not negotiate with bullies. Earth responds to threats with overwhelming force." She paused, letting her words reach every corner of civilized space. "Any species that wants peace with humanity will have it. Any species that wants trade with humanity will have it. Any species that wants to threaten humanity will share the fate of Nexus Prime. Choose wisely." The transmission ended. The eternal wrath turned toward home, leaving behind the wreckage of what had once been the galaxy's most powerful military force. Captain Lee looked at his crew. They had just changed the course of galactic history. In one battle, humanity had gone from unknown newcomers to the most feared military power in the galaxy. "Well done, everyone," he said quietly. "Let's go home. I think we've made our point." As the eternal wrath disappeared into hyperspace, the survivors of the Confederation fleet sent desperate messages to their home worlds. The messages all said the same thing. Humanity was not what they had expected. Earth was not a world of primitive negotiators. It was a world of warriors who had just announced their arrival to the galaxy in the most dramatic way possible. The news of Nexus Prime's destruction spread across the galaxy like wildfire. In the surviving Confederation worlds, panic filled the streets. The impossible had happened. The greatest military force in galactic history had been destroyed by a single human ship. High Counselor Thexmore of the Vexitari Council called an emergency meeting on their home world of Veltaran. The blue-skinned aliens gathered in their crystal palace, their 4 eyes wide with fear and anger. "This cannot be allowed to stand," Thexmore declared, his sharp teeth clicking together. "If we let these humans destroy our forces without punishment, every primitive species in the galaxy will think they can challenge us." General Kazhul, one of the few military commanders to survive the battle at Nexus Prime, stood before the council. His uniform was torn and his hands shook as he remembered watching entire fleets vanish into quantum foam. "High Counselor," he said, "you do not understand. The human ship used weapons that should not exist. It disappeared from reality itself. Our best scientists say such technology is impossible." "Then our scientists are wrong," Thexmore snapped. No species becomes that advanced overnight. The humans must have stolen this technology from someone else, or they found ancient artifacts. Either way, they cannot have many such ships. Across the galaxy, similar meetings were taking place. The Hegemony Empire mobilized their war fleets. The Crystalline Federation prepared their bioships. The Metal Lords activated their planet-killing machines. 12 different alien species, each with thousands of ships, began moving toward human space. They all believed the same thing. Humanity had used their only superweapon at Nexus Prime. Earth would now be defenseless. They were wrong. On Earth's orbital defense platform Olympus Station, Admiral Yoon Mik-young watched the approaching alien fleets on her tactical display. She was a small woman with gray hair and calm eyes, but she commanded the most advanced military force humanity had ever built. "Ma'am," said her aide Colonel Park Ji-soo, "long-range sensors are detecting 12 separate invasion fleets. Total. Enemy ships approximately 47,000 vessels." Admiral Yoon smiled. "Only 47,000. I was expecting more after we destroyed their main base." Colonel Park looked confused. "Ma'am, how are we going to fight that many ships? Even with the Eternal Wrath, we're outnumbered almost 1,000 to 1. "Colonel," Admiral Yoon said, turning to face her, "what makes you think the Eternal Wrath is our only ship of that class?" Deep in Earth's secret shipyards, dozens of vessels that looked identical to the Eternal Wrath sat ready for battle. Each ship carried 50 of humanity's best warriors. Each ship could phase in and out of reality. Each ship carried weapons that could destroy entire fleets. Captain Bae Wushik stood on the bridge of his ship, the Silent Thunder. He was tall and thin with quiet eyes and a calm voice. His crew had trained for 3 years waiting for this moment. "Captain," said his science officer, Dr. Lim Soo-young, "we're receiving launch orders from Earth Command. All Project Eternal. Ships are to deploy immediately." "Understood," Captain Bae replied. "All hands, this is the captain. We are launching to defend Earth from alien invasion. Remember your training. Trust your equipment. Fight for humanity." The Silent Thunder lifted, off from its hidden base, followed by dozens of identical ships. To alien sensors watching from the edge of the solar system, it looked like humanity was sending out a small defense fleet. The aliens had no idea that each ship was as deadly as the one that had destroyed Nexus Prime. The first alien fleet to reach human space belonged to the Hegemony Empire. General Vorthak commanded 8,000 warships, each one bigger than any human vessel. He was confident that his force could destroy every human colony and military base within days. "All ships," he broadcast to his fleet, "spread out and begin bombardment of human worlds. Show them what happens when primitives challenge their betters." The Hegemony ships began moving toward Mars, humanity's first colony world. The planet had 3 million human settlers and basic defense systems. It should have been an easy target. Then the Silent Thunder materialized directly in front of the alien flagship. "Hegemony vessels," Captain Bae said over the communication channels, "you have entered human space with hostile intent. You have one chance to leave peacefully. Choose now." General Vorthak laughed. "One small human ship against 8,000 Hegemony warships? You will die quickly, and then we will burn your colonies." "I tried to warn you," Captain Bae said calmly. "Dr. Lim, activate quantum phase systems. All weapons, prepare to fire." The Silent Thunder vanished from normal space just as 8,000 alien weapons fired at where it had been. Energy beams and missiles passed through empty space, hitting nothing. "Where did it go?" General Vorthak shouted. "Find that ship." The answer came from inside his own flagship. The Silent Thunder had phased through the ship's hull and appeared in the main engine room. Sergeant Major Kang Sun-ho and his Marine team materialized in full combat armor, their weapons already firing. The alien crew never had a chance. Human weapons cut through their armor like paper. In minutes, the flagship's engines were destroyed and its command systems were offline. "This is impossible," General Vorthak said as human Marines stormed onto his bridge. "How did you get inside?" "Our shields." "Shields only work against attacks from normal space," Sergeant Major Kang replied. "We don't attack from normal space." Meanwhile, the Silent Thunder had phased back outside and begun attacking the rest of the Hegemony fleet. Its quantum cascade weapons tore holes in reality itself, unmaking alien ships faster than they could react. But the Silent Thunder was not alone. Captain Nam Junho and his ship, the Voidbreaker, appeared behind the enemy formation. Captain Lee Soo-jung and the Star Killer materialized above them. Captain Kim Hyun-woo and the Death Shadow phased in from below. Dozens of human ships surrounded the hegemony fleet, each one carrying weapons that existed outside normal physics. The aliens found themselves fighting enemies they could not see, with weapons they could not understand. All ships retreat, General Vorthak ordered, but it was too late. The human vessels moved through his fleet like sharks through a school of fish. Ships that had ruled the galaxy for centuries became clouds of glowing particles in minutes. Of the 8,000 hegemony warships that had entered human space, fewer than 300 escaped to tell the story. Similar battles were happening throughout the solar system. The Crystalline Federation lost 90% of their biofleet to Captain Yang Min-seo and the Quantum Storm. The Metal Lords watched their planet killers get torn apart by Captain Shin Do-hyun and the Reality Breaker. Each alien species had expected to find Earth defenseless after the destruction of the Eternal Wrath. Instead, they found dozens of ships with the same impossible technology, commanded by humans who fought like demons and showed no mercy to invaders. On Earth, President Kim Min-jae watched the battle reports with satisfaction. The woman who had once feared humanity's first contact with aliens now smiled as she saw alien fleets fleeing in terror. "Admiral Yoon," she said, "how many enemy ships have we destroyed?" "Approximately 39,000 confirmed kills," Admiral Yoon replied. 8,000 more damaged and retreating. Total human losses, 0 ships, 12 wounded crew members, President. Kim nodded. "Send a message to every world in the galaxy. Let them know what happened here today." Captain Choi Min-hyuk of the communications ship Messenger broadcast humanity's statement to the entire galaxy. His voice carried across light years to reach every alien civilization. "People of the galaxy," he said, 12 invasion fleets have attacked human space today. These fleets represented the combined military might of the former Galactic Confederation. They came to destroy our worlds and enslave our people. He paused, letting the magnitude of what had happened sink in. All 12 fleets have been destroyed or scattered. Any aliens who survived are running back to their home worlds to tell the story of this day. Let them carry this message. Earth is not defensible because we are weak. Earth is defended because we are strong. The transmission ended, but its effects would be felt across the galaxy for generations. Humanity had announced itself not as a new member of the galactic community, but as its new ruler. The aliens had come to Earth expecting to find frightened diplomats ready to surrender. Instead, they had found warriors who treated invasion fleets like target practice. The galaxy would never underestimate humanity again. 6 months after the destruction of the invasion fleets, the galaxy was a very different place. The Galactic Confederation no longer existed. In its place, humanity had created something new, the Human Galactic Republic. President Kim Min-jae stood in her new office on the space station New Geneva, which orbited Earth. Through the massive windows, she could see dozens of human warships patrolling the solar system. Each ship carried the quantum technology that had made humanity the master of the galaxy. "Ma'am," said her aide, "Ambassador Jung Kyung-hwan, the delegation from the Crystalline Federation is here to sign the treaty." Jung was a diplomatic man with kind eyes and a gentle voice. He had spent the last 6 months traveling to alien worlds, offering them a choice: join the human republic peacefully, or be conquered by force. Most chose peace. "Send them in," President Kim said. "Let's finish this." The alien delegates entered, the office with their heads down and their eyes on the floor. These were the same species that had once ruled billions of worlds. Now they came to Earth like children asking for forgiveness. High Counselor Zeftai of the Crystalline Federation spoke first. Her crystal body glowed softly blue as she tried to hide her fear. "President Kim, we accept all human terms. Our worlds will join your republic. Our fleets will serve under human command. Our people will follow human law." President Kim nodded. In return, your people will have full protection under Republican law. Your worlds will govern themselves as long as they follow our basic rules. Trade with human worlds will make your economies stronger than they ever were under the Confederation. It was the same offer humanity had made to every surviving alien civilization. Join willingly and prosper, or resist and face the same fate as Nexus Prime. Most aliens were smart enough to choose survival. On the bridge of the Eternal Wrath, Captain Lee Dongyun watched the signing ceremony through a video link. His ship now patrolled the galaxy's outer rim, searching for any remaining Confederation holdouts. So far, they had found 12 hidden military bases and 3 secret weapons factories. All had been destroyed. "Captain," said Lieutenant Choi Yuna from her weapons station, "we're receiving a distress signal from the Arcturus sector. A human colony ship is under attack by unknown vessels." Captain Lee turned to his navigation officer. "OG-1, set course for Arcturus. Maximum quantum speed. Navigator." OG-1's hands moved over her controls. "Course laid in, Captain. We'll arrive in 40 minutes. The Eternal Wrath disappeared from normal space, traveling through folded dimensions faster than light itself. When it arrived at the Arcturus system, Captain Lee saw something that made him angry. A human colony ship called the New Hope was surrounded by 6 alien warships. These were not Confederation vessels, but ships from outside the galaxy, raiders who thought human space would be easy prey. The attacking ships were firing on the colony vessel, which carried 20,000 human civilians, including families with children. The New Hope's shields were failing. "Alien vessels," Captain Lee broadcast on all frequencies. "Cease your attack immediately and withdraw from human space." The leader of the raiders replied in broken English. "Human ship, we are the Void Hunters from the Magellanic Clouds. We take what we want. Your people will become our slaves." Captain Lee's voice became cold as space itself. "Dr. Han, prepare quantum cascade weapons. Target all enemy ships." "Sir," Dr. Han replied from his science station. "Weapons ready. Should I set them for total destruction?" "Yes," Captain Lee said. "Leave no trace." The 6 raider ships vanished in bursts of quantum fire. They did not explode or burn. They simply stopped existing, as if they had never been built. The New Hope was safe. But Captain Lee was not finished. "Communication, send a message to the Magellanic Clouds. Tell them what happened here. Tell them that human civilians are protected by the deadliest military force in the universe. Tell them to warn their friends." Across the galaxy, similar incidents were happening every day. Pirates, raiders, and remnants of the old Confederation would attack human ships or colonies. They would be destroyed so completely that other criminals began to avoid human space entirely. Fleet Admiral Shin Yunji commanded this vast network of human warships from her flagship, the Galaxy's End. She was a small woman with silver hair and eyes like steel. Under her command, humanity's fleet had grown to over 200 quantum-capable vessels. "Admiral," said her intelligence officer, Captain Park Minsu, "our scouts report that 3 Confederation worlds are still refusing to surrender. They're building new weapons and gathering ships for another attack." "Which worlds?" Admiral Shin asked. "Veltaran, Hegemony Prime, and Kreshtar. They think they can develop technology to match our quantum systems." Admiral Shin smiled, but there was no warmth in it. "How many ships do they have between them?" "Approximately 15,000 vessels, ma'am. Our intelligence suggests they're planning a coordinated strike on Earth within the next month. Then we'll visit them first," Admiral Shin said. "Order the 2nd, 5th, and 7th fleets to prepare for departure. We're going to show these stubborn aliens why resistance is futile." The 3 alien worlds never saw the human fleets coming. Captain John Taekwon and his ship, the Final Word, materialized above Veltaran just as the sun was rising. Within an hour, every military installation on the planet was destroyed. The civilian population was untouched, but their ability to make war was gone forever. Captain Yu Seungmin and the Inevitable brought the same message to Hegemony Prime. Captain Han Jiwoo and the Last Argument visited Kreshtar. In one day, the final resistance to human rule was broken. The three defeated worlds sent desperate messages to Earth begging for mercy. President Kim's response was broadcast to the entire galaxy. "The Human Republic offers mercy to those who accept it peacefully," she said. "We offer only destruction to those who threaten our people. The choice has always been yours to make." Within a week, all three worlds had signed surrender treaties. The galaxy was now completely under human control, but humanity was not content to rule just one galaxy. In the secret shipyards around Earth, engineers were building something new: intergalactic exploration vessels. These ships could travel between galaxies, carrying human civilization to new worlds and new challenges. Captain Lee Dong-yun was chosen to command the first intergalactic mission. The ship was called the Star Bridge, and it was 10 times larger than the Eternal Wrath. It carried not just weapons, but also scientists, engineers, and colonists ready to build new human worlds in distant galaxies. "Captain," said his new science officer, Dr. Kim Suk-young, "we've detected artificial signals from the Andromeda Galaxy. There appears to be an advanced civilization there." "Hostile?" Captain Lee asked. "Unknown, sir, but they have technology we've never seen before. They might be more advanced than we are." Captain Lee smiled. It had been months since humanity had faced a real challenge. The Confederation aliens had been too weak to provide any real sport. Perhaps these new aliens would be more interesting. "Set course for Andromeda," he ordered. "It's time to introduce ourselves to the neighbors." As the Star Bridge prepared for its historic journey, President Kim addressed the people of Earth one final time. "6 months ago, aliens came to our world and demanded our surrender," she said. "They thought humans would negotiate. They thought we would accept their terms. They were wrong." She paused, looking out at the stars that now belong to humanity. "Today, we rule not just our solar system, not just nearby stars, but an entire galaxy of trillions of beings. We did this not through diplomacy or negotiation, but through the application of overwhelming force against those who threatened us." Her voice carried across space to every human world and every alien species that now served the Republic. "Let this be a lesson to any civilization that thinks humanity can be intimidated or controlled. We do not negotiate with bullies. We do not accept ultimatums. We respond to threats by removing those who make them." The transmission ended, but its message would echo through the cosmos for eons to come. Humanity had announced itself to the universe not as explorers or diplomats, but as conquerors who preferred peace, but excelled at war. In distant galaxies, other alien civilizations detected the signals from the Milky Way. They learned about a young species that had destroyed an ancient galactic empire in a matter of months. Some began preparing for war. Others started planning diplomatic missions. All of them made the same mistake the Galactic Confederation had made. They thought they could understand humanity by studying human actions. They could not understand that humans were not motivated by logic or self-interest. Humans were motivated by a simple principle: protect the tribe, destroy the enemy. The galaxy had learned this lesson. Soon, the universe would learn it too. Captain Lee Dong-yun looked out at the stars of Andromeda growing larger on his screen. Somewhere in that distant galaxy, aliens were probably planning humanity's destruction, just as the Confederation had done. They would learn the same lesson the Confederation had learned. Humanity did not negotiate.